Hey there guys, this is Sam
And Justin.
at the Survival Review, and today we're going to be talking about Psycho.
Yes, because it is October.
It is October, as you can obviously tell by the
Pumpkin.
jack-o'-lantern in the
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
And
So we're going to be talking about some horror movies
yeah,
and just some horror-related stuff like we did last year, except more organized.
yeah,
not-
hopefully. And we're going to talk about Psycho and its sequels.
Yeah, and then after that we'll talk about some other movies and some like top 5 videos and other stuff like that that's Halloween and horror related.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, to start off, Psycho is just an incredible movie. You gotta get that out of the way. It's classic through and through.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the first thing we should talk about is the actual plot,
Yes.
which is tough to talk about without spoiling anything.
But yeah, it's also if you don't know what the plot is by now, then go watch the movie before somebody tells you.
Go watch the movie. I mean,
before somebody tells you, because then you're actually going to be surprised.
Yeah, it's really a fantastic movie. Just everything about it is great.
So
the plot. You want to talk about it?
Why not? So It starts out with Marion Crane. She works at this bank and she's trying to get married. She's, doesn't have too much money and stuff like that. And she gets this job to get this $40,000. She has to transfer it to a bank, bring it to a vault. And she decides to steal it to go marry her boyfriend and all that stuff. And she ends up driving out to California to get to her boyfriend and ends up stopping at the Bates Motel.
Bad idea.
Where she meets a man named Norman Bates, who's a lonely person.
Mm-hmm.
And, has a few issues.
And he's living with his mother in there, and it's just a little odd. And
that's about all we can go.
That's about all you can go without spoiling anything.
it. You can only go 40 minutes into the movie without spoiling anything.
Yep. And,
so,
should we talk about? I mean, we gotta talk.
Yeah,
about
why
what
not?
happens.
So spoilers.
So here's spoilers now. Within the first 40 minutes of the movie, the main character, so you think, dies.
Mm-hmm.
And in one of the most iconic scenes in history, the shower scene, and just.
So then after that we follow Marion Crane's boyfriend and sister as they hire a private detective and they try to find out where she is, and in the end they go to the Bates Motel, try to find out. In the end it's revealed that Norman Bates' mother has been dead for the past few years, and now Norman dresses up like her and talks in her voice and just to pretend like she's still around and kills people as her.
Exactly. And that's probably why it's called Psycho.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And
I would assume that.
All in all, it's just done so well. Everything about the movie. It's
not a gore fest or anything.
Not even a little.
There's only like 2 death scenes in the whole movie, so it's not. They always say it's kind of the pioneer of like the slasher film, and that's only because of the fact that it's about a psycho who kills people. Crazy. So it's not a slasher movie. There's no teenagers. There's no drugs or anything.
And it has a plot.
Yes.
A very good one.
Oh yes, definitely. If we haven't mentioned yet, the movie's directed by Alfred Hitchcock,
which is kind of important.
Yes. My favorite director.
Yeah, I mean he's up there for me.
And it's surprising.
This movie didn't actually do that well when it came out.
Oh no. The critics didn't like it because it was his follow-up to North by Northwest,
which is a tough movie.
Which is a big spy, enthralling adventure that's a big budget. And this movie was shot in black and white with his TV crew, and so it was a really low-budget movie.
Yeah, it was.
And the critics didn't get it at first.
People didn't get it at first, but over time, obviously.
Oh yeah. And
it's much more appreciated now.
I'm not going to say it's my favorite Hitchcock movie because I can't pick which is my favorite Hitchcock movie, but it's up there.
I'd probably say it's my favorite.
It's up there in my top 5.
I can almost say without any doubt that this is my favorite of Hitchcock's movies, but
it's a great thriller. Like it's not a full-on horror movie, Yeah, it's more of a mystery suspense movie. Like I said, not slasher movie. And actually, like when it comes to the death scenes, the two that are in there, they're actually done really well and really inventive. The shower scene, obviously, and the other one, I guess it was spoiled because we're already talking spoilers here. The murder of the private detective, where he gets slashed on the face and falls down the steps.
Yeah.
Which just looks awesome because it looks so advanced for like this little black and white movie.
Yeah.
But then it's been done again in like Psycho 3 and the remake, and it just looks cheap and really bad.
It looks really bad.
So I think that's attributed to the black and white.
Yeah.
And just the fact that this movie doesn't feel like it was from like the 60s. It kind of feels a little bit earlier because it's in black and white. It's much smaller. It's not as big of a movie, and that it helps. It helps it out a lot. It makes it even more scary. And another thing, the soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah. The soundtrack is. It just sets the mood better so well. It's like the perfect example of mood-setting music.
I've read the book Alfred Hitchcock and the Making of Psycho, which if you're a fan of that movie at all, you got to read that book. It's a great book, and they lazily kind of sort of tried to adapt it into a movie recently called Hitchcock, and that sucked. So that was that. But if you like the movie, definitely read the book. It's a really good book, and one thing I was really surprised we mentioned this right away, Anthony Perkins as Norman Bates. All the performances, which you haven't talked about.
All the performances are great, but Anthony
mostly
Perkins...
the boyfriend is kind of...
yeah, I guess, but...
Besides him, the rest of the performances are great. Especially
Anthony Perkins. He is such a convincing...
Yeah, he's really good at playing it tragically too.
Yeah, like you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Like you don't think of him as the antagonist in this story while you're watching it, even though he
even after you know everything, even after you've seen it 1,000 times, you still don't feel that way.
And
so
just the way it's done is
it's a masterpiece.
Exactly.
I know you're obviously expecting to say that, but it is. It's done everything perfectly. Like I said. There's no real problem with the movie. I mean, some people today may not like that slower paced.
Yeah, but
if you're actually sitting there and watching, you're actually into the movie. If you're in the right mood, it doesn't feel like that. If you're just like sitting in a room like right now with the lights on and everything, and just put on Psycho, you're not gonna watch it at all. You're not gonna pay attention. You have to be in the right mood to really get it, and I don't feel the slow pace affects it if you're in that type of mood like to watch it.
But.
So if you out of 10?
Out of 10, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that both of us are going to give it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh yeah, definitely, it's up there.
And it's just incredible. And what a lot of people don't know or remember is that it got 3 sequels.
3 sequels.
And
I mean, I'm not going to say they're great, but I honestly don't think all 3 of them are bad.
No, I like 2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to discuss those later.
We'll
but
discuss
I don't think I don't think they're all legitimately like really bad movies.
I agree.
I'm not saying they're.
They're not anywhere near the same league as the first one, but they're not bad movies.
And so after this video, we're going to talk about those.
Exactly. And I guess that's it for this video. So we will see you guys next time.